Good evening, everyone. I hope you can you can hear me. If you can just please let me know, drop a 1 in the chat before I begin. Please let me know if you can hear me.
Loud and clear. Great evening, everyone.
Great evening. Great evening. Good, good. We have a few more minutes. We have 1 more minute to go ahead and promote that last minute promoting. I just want to, if you could put in the chat, my name is Zena Edgehill, and I am speaking to you from the state of Maryland. Please put in the chat where you are hearing me from. I see Lovey. Welcome, Tampa, Florida. Good evening. And I am from Maryland. And I see, of course, none other than Fernando, our coach Fernando from Los Angeles, California, along with his beautiful, lovely wife, Martha Fernandez. I mean, Ramirez. I apologize. Hey, everyone, if you can get those last minute texts out, everyone is jumping in. Again, you can view us on Facebook, or we do have the YouTube channel that you can also listen to us live at, or on your the replays as well. So, okay, I will get started. My name is Zena Edgehill, and I am speaking to you from the state of Maryland. I want to thank you all for attending. You are in for a great treat. We have 2 phenomenal speakers that will be speaking to you a wealth of wisdom. You definitely want to have your pen and paper prepared so you can hear this great information. So I will be presenting first Dr. G.W. Parker, which he is a founder and member of MWR. He is a 2-star regional director. Dr. Parker achieved the incredible milestone of leaving his $65,000 a year job in just 2 years to pursue his MWR full-time career. He will go into more details why how he achieved this, and the reason why MWR is so really preparing so many millionaires within this company. My second speaker, of course, is they have a real estate. He is a real estate investor as well. He is a speaker that brings a wealth of experience, a deep understanding of the real estate market, and a passion for helping others achieve their dreams. Eric Wilner is a licensed realtor, a seasoned mortgage broker, and a veteran investor. Now, he's seen the market from every angle, and he's here to share his insight with us. But that's not all. Eric speaks 4 different languages. He speaks English, Portuguese, Spanish, as well as German. He is also the founder and host of America's longest running daily real estate radio show, heard every morning bright and early during your drive, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. So please make certain to tune in, because if I was in the state of Florida, I'd definitely be tuning in to Eric Wilner. So he knows how to communicate, and he knows the industry inside and out. Beyond that, Eric is a lifestyle legacy coach with MWR, dedicated to empowering individuals to build not just wealth, but a fulfilling and lasting legacy. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce Eric Wilner, as well as Dr. G.W. Parker to the platform. So thank you. It was definitely, I don't know if they're present. Okay, Dr. Parker, it is an honor to my honor to represent you and to bring you to the platform. So I will go ahead and relinquish myself and let you and Eric Wilner take over.
Zena, thank you so much for that kind introduction. And guys, welcome to the platform. This is our Wednesday night edition, and we're going for it. Listen, Mr. Wilder, I'm sure if not already on, will be joining us shortly. But this is an overview tonight. We're going to talk about MWR, something that I believe is the greatest opportunity that exists on planet Earth. You're going to hear and see tonight what all the excitement's about, why people get so fired up about what we do, why it's now our responsibility to share this with so many other people who need this in a desperate way. With where we are with the state of our economy, with the directions of our country at this point, we need to find a way to free ourselves. And the only way we do it, guys, is to position ourselves financially. And we've got an incredible opportunity to do that with this partnership. And there's my good friend, and Eric. Zena mentioned that you spoke 4 different languages. You and I have had an opportunity to know each other and grow a friendship over the past 3 years, meeting you first in South Florida. Looking forward to seeing you again very soon. But I thought maybe tonight we'll do the presentation in Spanish. Sí, no problem, my
Sin
friend.
problema. Hablamos todo en español.
I love it, guys. Listen, see, Eric is my bucket list, honestly, is to be able to be fluent in multiple languages. And I admire you for being able to achieve that. That is just amazing, sir. It really excites me and fires me up. But listen, we won't take people's time any longer. We're going to get right into it. Again, this is our Wednesday night overview. And this is our conversation, basically. We're going to talk money tonight, Eric. But before we start, and I'll pull up the PowerPoint while you're addressing this this question I'm about to pose to you. When I first met you, you talked about some very some principles that you held true to, that you believed in, you lived by, and they were 3 pillars, basically foundations that you truly believed in and believed that everybody has the ability to achieve them. Talk about that while we bring the PowerPoint up.
Absolutely, Dr. Parker, and thank you even for allowing me to share this, because this is how much I really believe it. I think not only is my job, my career, my lifestyle is really revolving around these 3 principles. Number 1, I believe that everyone should be a homeowner, and I'll go out of my way and walk an extra mile to help someone to become a homeowner. Number 2 is that I believe everyone should have that home, their financial home, in writing, a plan. They need to have, you wouldn't go on a trip without a map. You wouldn't leave your house without the GPS. And most people just make no plans for the most important thing in their lives, which is, their eventual retirement and their financial freedom. And number 3 is that in order to achieve that and to maintain that, you need to have multiple streams of income. As you know, Warren Buffett was famous for saying that as long as you're trading hours for dollars, you'll work until you die. You'll never be able to retire. And you got to unhook the relationship between your hours of effort and the income that comes in. Because once you've done that, now you can do the beautiful things that you want to do, make an impact in society, spend more time with family, or do the hobbies, or whatever your passion is. And that's why it's so important to have the stability of a home, the clarity of a plan, and the consistency of income, whether you get up every morning at 8 a.m., 10 a.m., or 12 noon, doesn't really matter. And so I was really excited when I was first introduced to what we're going to talk about tonight, because I saw it line up, and align very well with those principles. So on that note, let's get at it.
Yes, sir. And listen, those are very strong core principles that I think everybody should embrace. And Eric, I believe most people do, but unfortunately, we've been denied access. Not that we've been priced. Well, yeah, let's say it. We've been priced out of the process. We've not been denied access. We've just been priced out Thanks to what we're going to share tonight with MWR in this concept, everybody gets a chance to win now. Why? Because we've leveled the playing field. So we're here tonight to talk about MWR, guys. This is where lifestyle and legacy connect. This is our lifestyle and legacy presentation. Once again, my name is Gerald W. Park. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Eric Wilden. It's an honor to be here with you, sir. So think about the fact that we want to live the lifestyle, that we want to live the lifestyle that we want currently. We want to build the lifestyle that we want, and also leave a legacy that our family deserves. And Eric, I'll say to our audience and to you as well, if we don't do it for our families, then who will?
No one, no one. And the government's not going to do it as much as many people believe it. They're not going to do it. And big business has its plans of its own. It's important for us to take that responsibility and to get the financial literacy, the information that we need. You can look at it a lot of different ways. You can look at it negatively, or you can look at this like a game, because as you and I both know, there is a money game. And either you're on the field and you get to play the game, or you're in the bleachers. And whatever happens on the field, you have to accept, and you're going to be a passenger one way or another. Why not? In fact, last night we were on our Keys to Home Ownership presentation, and the founder of the Keys to Home Ownership, Mr. Lou Brown, he's very involved. Took a group of the certified affordable housing providers to Washington to meet with top officials to influence the rules about housing. And the one message that he came back with is that, listen, in Washington, in your life, you're either at the table or you're on the table. And you don't want to be on the table, my friend. You want to be at the table and enjoy what life really does have to offer.
That's what I'm saying. Well, let's create our seat at the table, right? Let's get into it, guys. Let's talk about the reasons that we work, the reasons that we grind so hard. Yeah, we talk about what Eric just mentioned, trading time for money. We're trying to create or actually build our current lifestyle. We want to sustain that, but we also, have our eyes set on our future lifestyle and also a legacy. We don't want this work to be in vain, but there's some challenges, Eric, that we all face, right? And here are the three major ones. One, how do we make more money? Everybody wants to know that. Two, how do we keep more of the money that we make? And three, how do we make our money work for us? And you mentioned it earlier, Warren Buffett. If we don't find a way to have money working for us, we are going to be forced, my friend, to work until we die. Now, think about it. Here are the results for the most Americans. These are the great majority of people in this country. 50 years, Eric, the plan, 40 hours a week for 40 years, and they expect you to live off 40% of the income that you were earning when you're working full time. And we know the great majority of people couldn't make it off 100%, much less 40. So what are we doing? We financing a lifestyle instead of owning it, and we're leaving our families in debt, and no legacy in place at all.
No, it's a shame, and that last thing I think any of us ever want to do is be a burden and leave a burden for our kids and so forth. But that's why this is such an important, and we're at such an important time right now. You could easily get depressed by simply watching the news and hearing about the economy. But in fact, there's two economies, Gerald. There is the macro economy out there, which kind of goes with the flow, and you just listen to what they say and you go, oh, woe is me. Or there is what I call the micro economy. That's my economy, the economy that I influence, the economy that I control. And that's where you want to be. And that's why we want to learn how to make more money, how to make that money work for us. And of course, at the end of the game, it's not just what you make, it's what you keep.
No doubt about it, my friend. We want to control our own destiny. We've got an excellent way to do it. Let's talk about what makes a difference as it relates to what we bring to the table. That's MWR. It's the only opportunity, Eric, that guarantees your success. Now, you've been in and around the financial service space for a long time, and I've never seen this. And they even go as far as putting it in writing, not just making a bold statement, but look at what they say. If our expert strategies or opportunity can't put more money back in your pocket, within your first 30 days of this membership, they give you a full refund, Eric. So there's zero risk associated with this opportunity. And the only way that we believe people can lose is simply by choosing not to participate. But as I said earlier, you've been in and around the financial service space for decades. Have you ever seen a company make such a bold statement and go as far as backing it by putting it in writing?
Yeah, I always smile when I hear about this, because go ahead, ask your stockbroker for what kind of a guarantee he has to offer. he'll probably smile and laugh right back, thinking that it's a big joke. But here, MWR is the only company in the vast financial services industry, $109 trillion, and they are willing not only to set up a brand new paradigm, they are putting it in writing, giving you a 30-day money back guarantee. And I'll read it one more time. If our experts, strategies, and opportunity cannot put more money in your pockets than the cost of membership, and that's what we're talking about, is the ultimate financial membership within your first 30 days. Okay, so we're specific, we're sure, and we got a time frame in which we'll do it, and we've got lots of testimonials which we'll share in order to show that MWR does stand behind it. And that's why I often say, when you don't make a decision, it actually is a decision. And that's what happens to most Americans, is that they keep putting that decision off. They put it off and they put it off, and then suddenly they realize it's too late to make a meaningful decision. And tonight is different.
No question about it, sir. But let's talk about that membership that you mentioned, right? Our lifestyle and legacy membership. What does it consist of? What is it all about? What does it help the average everyday person do, Eric? And I'll let you take this one.
Absolutely. And I call this the money matrix here. And this is really the tip of the iceberg. This isn't everything, but these are the important things. You see, in the light blue, you're going to see what we call level 1 or lifestyle strategy. This is for the here and the now. And we can make a difference in your finances here and now. The green squares are called our level 2 strategy. So once you figure out how to keep more of your money, like, eliminating debt and those things, then we want to show you how to take that savings. Okay, it's money you're already making. You are just giving it away unnecessarily. And now we can have that money work for you. That's the big lesson. And then, of course, when we get to the dark blue tiles, we'll talk a little bit more about that later, is how do you protect that income and the assets that you're acquiring? The bottom line is that we help you grow. Our experts do the work. When we're talking about CPAs, CFPs, we're talking about enrolled IRS agents. These are not boiler room operators that answer questions. These are fully vetted veteran professionals, the best of the field, that are now doing the work so that you get the results. All done very professionally, very confidentially, with a company and experts that you can trust.
We've leveled the playing field, guys. No question about it. So let's get a little deeper, Eric, in this lifestyle strategy. You talked about where our money's going, why the average person can't really get ahead. And these are some of the reasons why. Who's taking our money?
I'll tell you who's taking your money, and they're taking it willingly, and often people are giving it willingly, which is the part that makes me scratch my head. You see, these first 4 things, I don't care whether you only have $2 left in your wallet or whether you got $2 million in your bank account. Everybody listening to me who can hear my voice needs some or all of these services. Let's start out with eliminate my debt. You know that it's been said that debt is the middleman between you and financial freedom.
Yeah.
Imagine that today, 34.5 cents. By the way, look it up, Google Wall Street Journal report, 34 cents out of every dollar gets allocated to interest and finance charges. So imagine having experts that can look at your personal situation, as unique as it may be, and show you exactly how to get out of debt in less than 10 years, regardless of what debt you have. Okay, we've got the experts, we've got the software, we've got everything that you need. Reduce my taxes. Do you know that on average, 25 to 35% goes to taxes for most people? When you put those two together, more than 2/3 of your income is already spoken for before you ever get to lay a finger on it. And imagine being able to reduce my taxes. And we've seen MWR help people reduce their taxes between 0 and 5%. What number would you like? Then let's talk about the bills. So far I've talked about big banks, I've talked about big government, and now let's talk about big business. And every month there's some recurring expense. Why don't you have a recurring income to match it or exceed it? But these experts will look at the different expenses that you have, and oftentimes without even having to change carriers. This is not one of those deals. You can actually save a lot of money with the Lower My Bills experts. And then finally, I save this for last because this may be one of the most important areas, and that's restore my credit. Most people either think restoring their credit or building their credit is either too complicated, too complex, or too expensive. Imagine if we threw that in the deal, because we're building your total financial picture here. And I'll tell you that a good credit score will open doors. A bad credit score will close all the doors of opportunity. I'll even go further to say that if you have less than a 700 credit score, you're paying a premium for anything that you buy. Two people, you and I, could buy the same two houses next door to each other in the same development, in the same state, in the same location, same amenities, same everything, pay the same price even, right? $300,000. And yet, because you have an 800 credit score, you're going to get a 6% rate. Because I have a 680 or 690 credit score, I'm going to pay 8%, just 2% difference because of credit on a $300,000 loan. 2% is 6,000. That's $500 per month. That's a big difference. We bought the same house, Gerald. Why is it? It's because people don't pay attention to their credit score. So bottom line, let's show you how to eliminate your debt, reduce your taxes, lower your bills, including and even your healthcare costs. Restore. If you've got trouble in the back, it doesn't matter. As of today, I'm going to tell you that your credit history doesn't matter. What matters is what we're going to do to build it, restore it, and then really make it work for you to open those doors of opportunity. And then, of course, since we're on that conversation about credit, let's talk about home ownership. Home ownership, which, remember, that's my principle number one. I think everyone should have a home. Many people give up right when they start because they get turned down by a bank. They get told that their credit score is not high enough. We have a program inside of our membership of MWR that says that regardless of your credit score, regardless of your past history, we have a home ownership program for you. You can own your home. There's no ifs, and, or buts, and there's no small print. If you'll notice on this slide, we'll turn your rent into home ownership. Plus, we also have a bunch of other benefits, another $150 a month in rewards, which a lot of us are using. And these are regular restaurants and shopping that we do to save on your everyday purchases. Here's the bottom line. When you add, these are just our lifestyle. We're just getting warmed up, Gerald.
Yes, sir.
Just here, our average member saves over $2,000 per month. Think about that. I didn't say $2,000 a year. I said $2,000 a month. What would a membership that put $24,000 back into your pocket be worth?
Quite a bit, sir. I mean,
at least 24,000, right?
Exactly, but $2,000 a month. And the beauty of this concept, Eric, is this from a person's existing finances, basically. I mean, you're not going out to create another job or finding another stream of income where you have to trade time for money, but this savings comes from your existing finances. This is the overpayment in all of these areas. And once we help you get those things in shape, that money goes back in your pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, if you're one of the millions of Americans getting a tax refund, imagine having on speed dial your own CPA that you don't have to worry about what the hourly cost is. And then you say, listen, I'm tired. I don't want to owe taxes at the end of the year, and I don't want to get a refund at the end of the year because I don't want to lend Uncle Sam interest-free my money for a whole year. Imagine having that expertise right at the fingertips. And now all of a sudden, instead of getting a tax refund, I got a raise, right? A guaranteed tax raise, money that I already am earning.
It's an amazing thing. I took full advantage of that concept going into MWR nearly 8 years ago, and those guys saved me $350 a month, money that I saw on my check 2 weeks later. So, guys, it's real, it works, and these strategies are so critical for the average person that continues to struggle because we don't have access until now. But let's talk about these strategies. Eric, you just freed up $2,000 a month of money from my existing finances. What should I do next? Find a job for that money, I would think, right?
Absolutely, because it's not going to be, big screen TVs and fancy cars that we want to do. We're talking about making sound financial decisions that lead to our financial independence. Do you know that on average, the average person, let's say the average income in America is maybe $50,000. If they work for 20 years, that's $1 million. If they work for 40 years, like you said, that's $2 million. And if they work for 50 years, like most people end up having to do, you're talking about literally $2.5 million are going to go through your bank account. And yet most people end up dependent on Social Security. So put your money to work for you. And this is why we have these level 2 strategies. Our diversified cash flow account. This is a very special account. It pays above bank market rates. There's an element of asset protection to it. But here's the even nicer part. I love teasing a lot of the listeners for my radio show. And it says, how many times does your dollar work for you? Okay. Most people, $1 it spends $1. Imagine if I had $1, I could invest $1, and then I could still take that dollar and then go invest it again. You see, banks are doing that every single day, right? You
Yep.
put the money in the account, they pay you something like 0 point nothing percent, and then they turn around and lend that money out today at 7%. What a great business model. Well, I want a piece of that. Well, the diversified cash flow account is the next best thing to having your own bank. The private reserve account, again, asset protection, future related. These are guaranteed safe havens for your money that earn way better than bank money. Land banking, I'd love to talk more about that, but suffice it to say, the same way people put money in the bank, they can put land in the bank. In fact, imagine having experts that go out and find land in the path of progress, right? You're getting in the way of progress so that when progress reaches you, now all of a sudden, progress has to pay a premium for that land. And that's how experts make tons of money. We're talking about 10, 20, 30% returns for land banking. And normally that's reserved for people with large bank accounts because they have to invest large sums. The power of numbers. Now you're going to start seeing the power of numbers and why this membership is so unique. What's also unique is that we have our own precious metals platform. How many places do you know that actually, and I'm not talking about certificates representing gold, silver, platinum, palladium. I'm talking about the actual metals being stored in your name. Then, back in the day, and I talk about this also on my radio show, back in the day, the wealthy people, kings and queens used to build castles, right? It was real estate. And then they would build moats around where they would keep their gold and all their assets. And that's how they protected against the barbarians. Well, I have bad news and I have good news. The bad news is the barbarians are still out there and they're coming. They want to get your money. But today, instead of castles and moats, we have trusts. And as you know, the Bill Gates, the Andrew Carnegies, the Rockefellers, the Kennedys, and I could go on and on and on. And why do you know those names, right? Because they pass their wealth, their castles keep getting passed on from generation to generation thanks to smart trusts. And now you have access to those very same trust vehicles. So we've talked about self-banking strategy. We talked about tax and risk-free savings at above bank rates. We talked about asset accumulation, and we're going to also talk about asset protection, and all that while eliminating taxes, minimizing taxes, and building income bigger and better, layer on top of layer. Back to you, Gerald.
Eric, listen, everything you need to make wealth real, the ability to live and leave a legacy. But let's talk about the cost of this membership, because you've just provided us everything that we need to live the lifestyle and legacy. But think about it, $149.97 gets you all of what you just shared with us. When we know the average cost of a good CPA financial planner in any city in America currently is $200 to $300 an hour. So that's how we're priced out of the game, because the average person can't afford it when the great majority of people in this country are living paycheck to paycheck, much like I was doing prior to this program, paid on Friday, broke on Monday, working paycheck to paycheck, working just to pay bills and destined to die broke for $149.97. And there's some other pieces added to it. We're in the game, my friend.
Absolutely. And no contracts. So there's no upfront fees or qualifying for this membership. There's no contracts or long-term commitments. And here's the best part, Gerald. This isn't just one person. This includes your spouse, two people at the same residence. It's 2025, so it could be a domestic partner, your husband, your wife, your kid, a father, son, mother, daughter, two people living at the same address. can get this for the exact same 149.97. So it's really kind of like cutting that cost in half. And remember, now the experts are doing double the work for the same price. You get the results, they do the work, and all of that comes with a 30-day money back guarantee.
I just I want to go back. Let's go in reverse real quick because I mean I got to make this point very clear so people truly understand what we bring to the table. When you talk about these things, right? As far as strategies, what's available to you, walk off the street in any of these CPAs or investment consultants' office, you're not going to pay 149.97 per month, Eric.
No, you'll be lucky if you pay that an hour because you won't even get that. And now you have unlimited hours, unlimited access to some of the best strategies, the proven. And by the way, a lot of these strategies, they're not new. They've been, like I said, we talk about the Rockefellers, the Carnegies going, the Vanderbilts going all the way back, right up to today's day and age, the Buffetts, the Gates, and the Bezos, they all have this set up. And the only reason, like you said, it's not that it's not available to everybody, but most people have been priced out, or worse yet, a lot of this information gets passed down from generation to generation. It's not taught in our schools, which, by the way, it's been what, 200 years that this country has been, here. We have schools, for over 150 years, and yet they haven't figured out, or maybe big banks, Wall Street, they don't want you to know. They need the factory workers. They want you to stay where you are. It's a sad fact, but look at the evidence. It's true.
Listen, all by design, my friend. Again, but hey, the game is over because we figured it out with the help of MWR. And that's why we believe that MWR is the perfect business, right? Where else can you get paid, Eric, to get paid absolutely every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, while someone else is doing the work for you and for everybody that you refer? How do we go about doing that? Through this partnership with MWR.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about that, because, at the very beginning of this presentation, you said, I'm going to show you how to save more of the money you already make. I think we did that. We're going to show you how to take that savings and multiply it. I think we showed you how we do that. And now the last promise you made was that I'm going to show you how to make more money. And this is exactly what we do. I said before also that you need to have a business, multiple streams of income. The fastest way, even Robert Kiyosaki in his book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and the Cash Flow Quadrants, says that you need a business, a B, to fund your I to become an investor that can no longer have to work for his money because my investments are paying me. And how do you get that business? Well, you could start a business. 80% of businesses don't make it after 5 years. You could inherit a business. Well, by now you'll know if you did. But the third way that you can have a business is to buy a business, buy a franchise. But imagine if you could have a franchise, literally a 100% IRS compliant business in a box. Yesterday I was W-2, today I have a business for only $249.97. And that includes a one-time, and think about how incredible of a bargain this is. For a simple one-time payment of $100, you're going to get websites with no monthly fees. You're going to get all sorts of assistance. You got that whole back office that we talked about, but you got front-facing websites for marketing and banners and social media and everything. You've got a back office with all the accounting and the tracking. You see, we're in a technological age. You see, this wouldn't have been possible 20 years ago. Today, this has actually been put into place, thought of, envisioned, and then implemented. It's the perfect business. Because like you said, where else can you get paid daily? Okay, I don't know about you, but most jobs, unless you're a waiter or waitress, most jobs don't pay daily. Here, your effort today gets paid within 24 hours simply for a one-time $100 business setup fee or $149.97 per month as your membership fee. And by the way, I neglected to mention, did you know, Gerald, and I know you do, but when you refer 3 people, we always tell people about a great restaurant, a great movie, a great show. If you refer 3 people, do you know that your membership is free? So everything that we talked about could be yours at no cost. Once you use this system, I promise you, you got to use the system. If once you use this system, you will tell other people about it. You will get people that you will refer into it. Remember, because after all you're doing is referring. The team of experts, they help you to keep, grow, and protect your assets. They're the ones who do the heavy lifting. And what you're doing is you're leveraging those experts, their time-tested strategies, all of the systems that we've been talking about. And now all you have to do, again, for $249 initial startup costs, you can have an ongoing, operating, proven business and earn unlimited daily pay and industry-leading residual income, which is the name of the game. I got a plaque over here in my office that says income is the outcome that matters.
No question about it, sir. But listen, you talk about you know, a IRS compliant business, $249 the initial investment. Here are the other two things that 249.97 Eric does. One, it puts you in business with the fastest growing financial strategies company in the country, and that's MWR. Two, it puts you in the middle of a multi-trillion-dollar a year industry, which is financial services. And this is the struggle for many people, the great majority of Americans. I mean, you know, tell me a time in anyone's life where money hasn't been an issue. What is the major topic of discussion? Anywhere that you go today, people are talking about money, not because they have a lot of it, the lack of. I mean, how do we turn the corner? How do we stop this madness of paycheck to paycheck living, working just to pay bills? We've got a real chance now because MWR offers you and I and everyone else the opportunity to earn a ridiculous amount of money just by sharing this concept. And Eric, let's take a quick look at the revenue sharing plan and give our audience just a glance at how this thing really works.
Yeah, I love this because I refer to this as the income menu. You can pick your income, whatever you're willing, whatever effort you're willing to do. But it starts out very, very simply. You see, we're talking about building a business, right? And a business isn't a one-man show if you want to scale it. So let's say that you want to grow your business, and simply by starting out and finding 3 additional team members that see the vision just like you do, that want to build this business, and they want to, whether it's supplemental income or whether it's replacement income, that's up to you. But simply with 3 team members, right? 2 personal sales, and by the way, you count as one of them, then you begin to make a residual. That means every day, not just every month, every day, residual income of $5 a day. Now that was not, you probably have 3 people that you know of off the top of your head that are looking for additional money or some sort of an opportunity. Well, that's $150 a month, which, by the way, Gerald, that means that now you have a self-funded business because you got $150 coming in, you pay $149, and that's assuming you didn't refer 3 people, and you're making $150. Now, I like that idea of a self-funding business because most businesses go out of business because they run out of cash flow. And here I just showed you within the first 30 days. In fact, if you do that within the first 30 days, you should do it in the first 30 hours. But if you did that in the first 30 days, the company also bonuses you. Go to the far right, the momentum bonuses, $150. So they basically double what you made that month in there. And by the way, there's 6 different income streams. I'm not going to go into all of these because it starts to multiply. Just believe that part. But now, let's say we talked about momentum bonuses. Let's get some momentum. We got our 3 the first month. Now in the month 2, I'm not saying go out and find 3 more. I'm saying help your 3 team members, because whatever they do benefits you. Help your 3 team members get there so that they can do in their first 30 days, your first 60 days. And the company, even though you didn't sponsor one additional person, the company gives you a $450 bonuses. Okay, so far I'm up $600 on a $249 investment, and now I'm making $600 a month. Okay, well, let's take it one more month. Let's keep the momentum going. And now in the next 30 days, I'm gonna teach the new freshman class how to get their 3. Okay, in the first 30 hours or 30 days, doesn't matter. But when you do that in your first 90 days, the company gives you another $900 bonus. When you add just the momentum bonuses, 150 plus 450 plus 900, that's $1,500. So I just 10x'd what used to be my monthly expense. I'm now making $1,500 a month. And if the 150 didn't move the needle for you, and it didn't for me, when someone told me that I could make 150 extra dollars a month, and I go, well, I don't have time for that. And I literally said, I don't have time for that. But when they started showing me the mechanics of this plan and they showed me this money menu, I had two reactions. Number one, in that first daily column, I went from 5 to 20 to $50 in 90 days. Okay. In 90 days. And let me tell you something else. It's also very interesting. You see, Social Security publishes a report every year of what the maximum Social Security check. There are people who think that it's $10,000. The maximum Social Security check that anyone can make today is $4,000. That's not my idea of retirement, number one. But here's the worst news to that is that the average Social Security check is about $1,600. That, as you mentioned, people go 40 hours a week for 40 years of their life to end up with the average 40% Social Security check, which means that I replaced or doubled, however you want to look at it, the Social Security check in 90 days, and it continues to build on and on. So in that column, let's go down. Let's look. We started at $5 a day. We went to $20 a day. How about $100 a day? Wouldn't you like $100 a day every day? You and I know at 5:07 or 5:04, depending on where your name is on the alphabet, we get a text that says that the money was already electronically deposited into our account. So whether it's $100 a day, 150, 300. Now, by the way, $300 a day, if you do a little bit of fast math, that's $9,000 a month. 9,000 times 12 is 109,500. We're talking about a six-figure income. And I'm going to show you how to do this on a very, very part-time basis. How fast you want to do that, it's up to you. But let your eyes continue to go down. And I'm one of those that looks ahead and wants to see how the book ends, right? And I see $15,000 a day. And again, I'm going to do the math. Times 30, that's $450,000 a month. Okay, that's a great year that month. And you got 12 of them stacked one after another. And that equals a total of $5.475 million. That, my friends, if that doesn't move the needle, then you weren't listening to anything that I said, number one. And number two, my return comment was that if I put in some time and build this thing, I could earn athletes money without having been, being able to run the 440 and to be able to do what athletes have to do and put your body through the stress and training and games. And plus, it's only a small fraction of the universe that could make athletes money in those sports, the NFL, the NHL, you name it. But in this business, as you said before, we've leveled the playing field. Anybody can do it. We already have folks that are at the $1,500 a day, $1,500 a day. Okay, that's $45,000 a month. I ask you, Gerald, what changes when you're making $45,000 a month?
Everything, my friend. The car you drive, the house you live in, the clothes you wear, where you can send your kids to school. It's a game changer. I mean, and honestly, I think the toughest part for us, Eric, is trying to help people understand that you're worthy of this level of income. But like me and many others, all we needed was a chance, a vehicle, some way to get there. And MWR has come along and provided that way for us. These are real numbers. As you say, our top income earner currently is a national director making $1,500 a day every single day. What sort of impact can people have in the lives of others when they're generating this level of income? As you mentioned, this is athletes' money without having to become an athlete or to stand 6'8" or 6'10" or whatever to be able to dunk a basketball or run a 100-yard dash. I mean, this is the most incredible opportunity that exists. Now, we're going to share the simulator that's going to help you, help you actually give you an opportunity to help people understand how we can do this basically at a horse and buggy pace, a snail's pace. I mean, if you want to call it that, I mean, it does not take long, but for those who want to run, it's there for them. But we're going to show you how to slowly build this thing over a period of 12 months. And Eric, I love the way you break this down to help people understand how they can secure a six-figure residual income with MWR. And by the way, once you lock this in, guys, whether you get out of bed or not, this money keeps coming.
And here's the thing, I'm not encouraging you to take the slow road. but the old tortoise and the hare story, it was consistency that won the race. And let me show you how to win the race here consistently. Now, we started out by showing the company says that if you find 3 people in the first 3 months, in the first 30 days, they're going to give you all sorts of incentives and bonuses. But let's just say, like me, I said, I don't have time for this. And I didn't take that deeper look. Well, let's say that, I would like to earn $100,000. I want a 6-figure income. And when you ask people on the street how much you want to make, I always hear 100,000, 100,000. That's the magical number that people believe that if they made $100,000, everything would be good. So if that's the goal, here's what I'm going to suggest. And this simulator is available on the website. You can go there and play with the numbers yourself. But let's just say that instead of 3 in my first month, I got 1. And then the next month, I got 1. And then the next month, I got 1. So now I've got 1, I've got 2, I've got 3. By the end of the year, I have 12. Okay, that's it, 12. It pales to what I showed you before. But here's the cool thing. When I do that, I have 12 LLCs. These are lifestyle and legacy coaches that believe in financial literacy like I do, that believe that there's a better way, and that they believe that if I had experts in my corner, that I would do a lot better. Now, at the end of the year, you've got this team of 12, and you've referred that one customer that's required. I've got 13 total team members, not a massive corporation by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm now a 2-star executive director, according to that chart. I am now making $600. And all I did was I found in the course of my day, in the course of my conversations, 1 person per month. Well, now let's keep that consistency going. Year 2, each one of those people, I'm teaching them to do the same thing, but only half of them, as not everybody shows up. So let's just assume that only half of my team duplicates the effort that I just trained them on how to do. By the way, the snail's pace method. And now at the end of the year, I've got 72 LLCs. I sponsored another 12. So 24 of those 72 was me, from over the last 2 years. But now I've got also 72 customers because they each went out and got their customers. And now I'm earning on that. And now I have a total of 157 total members between agents and members. And agents are all members. So now I'm a 4-star executive director earning $3,000 a month. Now, that is significant income. That's serious for a very, very part-time effort on my behalf. But I'm also earning $3,000 a month, month in, month out. Plus, remember I said there's 6 other income streams. So what I have found, Gerald, and you're living proof, that usually what they're making in residual income at that level is probably what they're making with the other ones as well. So it's much more than what we're showing. Right. But to stay simple, now let's go 1 more year, stay consistent. Would you be willing to invest 3, not 40, 3 years of your life? If I could show you this color by the numbers method of creating a 6-figure income in 3 years. Most people, by the way, don't earn a 6-figure income in their first 3 years. Here, by simply 50% of my 72 people went out and got their 12. And now I have 216 total people, agents, LLCs in my business that I started. Okay. I've got now 216 people. I may not have met half of them, but the bottom line is that they also got 216 customers. And that means between the two and probably some more, I have total members now earning 589 members earning towards my company. I'm now a 2-star regional director. I'm now earning $9,000 a month. That's a 6-figure income. And I did it in 3 years with no college degree, no licenses. And let me just tell you, if you're a real estate agent out there, and I told you some of the things that I share with you about real estate, if you're a mortgage broker out there, if you're in any of the financial services, because remember, Gerald, you and I, we can refer people in how many states?
50.
All 50, right?
Yes,
all
sir.
50. Now, if you're an insurance agent, if you're a stockbroker, you got to go get licensed in each one of the states where you sell.
Right.
I can actually do what your stockbroker can't do. I can do what, and probably better, because I've got experts, veteran seasoned experts. And all this simply by sharing. I share the information, the access. The experts do the heavy lifting. They do all the work, and you get the benefit.
Eric, I mean, it's the perfect business model, Eric. But here's the other thing too. You talked about 6, maybe 7 different income streams within one revenue sharing plan, but we've just added another way to generate more income, or added another stream with this partnership with Fundable 360. So MWR now is in the business of business funding. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Oh, and that's a game changer, and we don't even emphasize it enough because it's so brand new right now. But the
Right.
fact of the matter is that now, think about this, and I don't care how long you've been in business. If you have a business, an EIN number, a bank account, a legitimate business, you know that MWR guarantees that they can get you a minimum of $50,000 for your business funding needs. Now, ask any business owner. And again, I know you probably have 10 business owners in your phone right now. Ask any business owner, and I've done this, and I've never had someone say, hey, if I could show you a way to get a guaranteed minimum of $50,000 of extra business funding, whether it's for your marketing, whether it's to invest, whether it's to buy a house, doesn't matter. What you use the money for is completely up to you. Oh, and I forgot to tell you one important thing. I always like to leave that one more important thing, because what if I could do that without any impact to your credit score? What if I could tell you, yeah, right? And what if I could tell you that this funding is, in fact, it's like doubling your social security number. I now my EIN number is going to have the same borrowing ability, maybe bigger, than I do personally. So even if you had bad credit in the past, this doesn't affect the business funding. And let me tell you that if you ask any business, the biggest obstacle that a business owner finds is liquidity and finding funding to buy more inventory, to hire more people, to do more marketing, to invest in equipment, or invest in my favorite thing, real estate.
No question about it. I mean, there's a need. And again, this is just another tool that we bring to the table to assist the average person in moving their lives forward. Eric, you mentioned this earlier. Our membership basically speaks for itself. We've got people that are $1 million residual club ring earners, and thousands more that are doing these things here. I mean, they're getting paid every single day. You and I are living proof that works. They're saving money. People are, earning interest instead of paying it. We know the difference there. They're buying and building their dream homes thanks to your program with the keys of home ownership. They're driving their dream cars. They're living their dream lifestyle. And guys, we're leaving legacies for our family. That's what this program is allowing us to do. Now, MWR, look, everybody on this side, Eric, is winning. And the only person that's missing is you. Speaking to our audience now. So I'll ask this question. If not MWR, then what? And if not now, then when? So, Eric, we've got some choices. We laid out the game plan, right? So people now have some decisions to make. Do you want some of the money, or do you want all of the money? So
I'll just remind you that no choice is a choice.
There you go. That's right. And either choice that they make is on this one, at least, choosing from these two is not a bad choice. If the focus is the membership, $149.97, surround yourself with the experts, let them assist you in getting your financial life in order to take you from wherever you are financially to wherever you desire to be. And then if the idea is to use the services to get your financial life in order, but at the same time, create another stream of income. And Eric, I chose to do both. I wanted not only the access to the experts, but I wanted the opportunity to generate a stream of income through the partnership with MWR. Within 2 years, this very program, folks, that you're looking at, using that very model with the revenue sharing, I was able to walk away from a $65,000 a year job within 2 years to do this full time. So Eric Wilner, no one can ever tell me that it doesn't work. And all I did was share it with a few people that shared it with a few people that shared it with a few people. And MWR is willing to pay you and me a ridiculous amount of money to tell this story.
Yeah, and at your own pace. And this is the beautiful thing. You can work from wherever you want to work. You can set your own hours. You can set your own goals. We already know that the system works. Okay, that is already a proven fact. We've seen people do super well. We've seen people do averagely well. The bottom line is that it's up to you. The choice is yours. And the question again is, Do you want some of the money, the membership, and improve your own financial place in life,
Mm.
improve your ability to understand. And by the way, improve your access to having the experts, just like the wealthy does. And you no longer have to worry about how much does it cost to talk to my accountant. The MWR will even prepare your taxes for you. The beautiful thing about this business is that it is so flexible as to what you want to take out of it. And just like anything else, whether it be your college degree, it's not the college that mattered. It was what you took out of the college that mattered. And here you have opportunity to have some of the money or all of the money. In other words, this is like having a business degree, 100% IRS compliant, because you've got all the experts. And imagine having a business where you already have all the experts, the CPAs, the CFPs, the enrolled agents, all of the people that we talked about, that matrix that we started off with doing. And you have a business compensation plan, which is unmatched. I've seen a lot of businesses in my years out there, and I've never seen a compensation plan as generous of distributing the money to the members, to the people, the LLCs that are out there. And it all starts simply with a 249 investment, which is $100 to set up your business, which, by the way, is the only difference between either way. You want to have the membership. The only difference is $100. So for me, it wasn't even a decision to make, because the value was so incredible on the business side, not to mention the 400 plus business write-offs that you get by having an IRS compliant, business in a box that I don't have to reinvent, hire the web designers, hire the people to design the name and do the tax. All that is included.
Done for you. It is amazing. And I continue to tip my hat to the CEO and founder of MWR, Mr. Brian House, whose personal goal, is to make or create more millionaires than any other company in this industry. And we have an opportunity to do that. And that is not far-fetched with what we bring to the table. You look at this compensation plan, as you mentioned, I've seen a few as well. I've never seen anything like this that is more generous. But Eric, let's get back to the guarantee, man. This is what holds us all together, and this is what separates.
And they guarantee it.
There you go. That's right. It's amazing, guys. And once again, if the expert strategy and opportunity can't put more money back into your pocket than the cost of the membership in the first 30 days, I mean, amazing. Within 30 days, if we can't make a difference, you get a full refund. And again, there's no other company in the industry that offers this, and no one else that can say this, but we understand what we bring to the table. We now give the average person real access to the same tools and systems that wealthy people have always had. But the advantage that we bring, Eric, is not only do we give them access to the tools and systems, but we give them a live, trained, licensed expert to hold their hand through the entire process. So if you've heard enough and seen enough tonight to join us on this mission, this ministry, this crusade, this movement, on behalf of Mr. Wildner and myself, I want to say welcome to the MWR family. Now, I strongly encourage you to get back with the marketing director that referred you and let them know whether you want some of the money or whether you want all of the money. Eric, I'm convinced that the moment is now. I say get started. Would you encourage people to do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, the economy, everything is moving at a pace. And by the way, when you think about it, with the pandemic, people got a taste of what it's like to be able to stay home and work from home.
Yeah.
I love my commute, right? It's about 20 feet. All of this is possible thanks to the technology and the vision of a very bright man who wanted to make more millionaires. And he said, what the problem is that most people don't understand money enough. And, if we made everybody go to college, get a degree in finance, and then get a degree in accounting, and then get a degree in insurance, and then get a degree in all of these different areas, it would take forever. And he designed a program, which, my hat also goes off to Mr. Brian House, who is a serial entrepreneur, someone who knows a little bit about business. And he wanted to level the playing field and make all of that available to all of you.
Give the average everyday person a chance to win. Guys, again, this is where lifestyle and legacy connect. I'm convinced what you just seen and heard is the greatest opportunity that exists on planet Earth. MWR is making a huge difference, a major impact in the lives of so many people. But Eric, I love this slide here, and we end on this, and the caption says it all. But talk about this as it relates to, you know, where you and I might be or where other people might be, and why many of us don't remember or know or knew our great grandparents.
Yeah, and the difference is that what impact did they make? What money did they leave? Very simple. It really boils down to that. You know, like I said before, why do I know the name Vanderbilt, Carnegie? You know, why do I know Rockefeller? Why do I know Kennedy's? Because they left an impact and a legacy. And I guarantee you, their picture's up over some fireplace somewhere. And I like that graphic too, because in the home of one of your future generation, whose portrait, who are they going to remember? Was it you because you left a legacy, or was it somebody else?
Hey, let's hope it's us, and we really have an opportunity to do that. Hey, Eric, once again, man, I truly enjoy having an opportunity to spend time with you on these Wednesday night. That concludes our presentation. We're going to stop the screen share, guys, and come back out to the field. We'll go to our tools here, and Fernando is our operator back there. If you can open up the microphones and cameras for those who might have questions, now would be the time to get those questions answered, guys. We don't want you to leave this platform tonight without having a full understanding of what you've seen and heard. Will there be any questions?
And by the way, hats off to you, Gerald. 9:30 on the button, like a real professional. That's lay up and dunk.
Hey, you know, it's amazing. I don't have a clock in front of me, but it flows with you, sir. And that's why I truly enjoy being on this platform with you. And again, you and I talk about this like the early days, and we actually started this thing together. We stumbled through it. We kind of got the feel for it, and had some great times. Mr. Wendell Phelps came in, stepped in, and you guys continue to expand it and grow it. And I'm honored to be able to jump back in to assist and keeping this platform going, guys. It's been truly an honor, a privilege. It's a lot of fun too. And I know Coach Fernando from Ramirez out of Southern California is with us tonight. Our business partner who has taken this thing and just run with it and built an incredible business. And by the way, he's a very humble man. But Eric, he has built the largest Latino team within the MWR structure of anyone in the company.
Yeah, and we have regular trainings, regular meetings in Spanish. It's one of the hottest areas growing in our company. And you know, he heads up again, like yourself, you have the Kingdom Builders movement. He has the diversity movement, and you know, in the spirit of entrepreneur. See, here's the beautiful thing, you know, it doesn't matter where you come from, it doesn't matter what your profession is, you know, this is an opportunity that really is a leveled playing field. You see, money doesn't understand, doesn't know race, color, nationality, doesn't care about height, width, or any of those things. The bottom line is that there's a money game out there. You have to accept that. I'm sorry. It's a math game, and you need to know the rules of the game. If you know the rules of the game, it's easy to win. Remember, I told you $2.5 million will flow through the average bank account during their career. How much of that will you keep?
Wow. That is quite amazing, sir. You're absolutely right, but that is a tremendous amount of income that goes through our hands. But most people, again, what are the stats? Where do people end up in their retirement age?
Well, the picture is really not pretty. And in fact, you know, what I find terribly, and I mean in this true sense, the word terribly amusing, is that in the richest country in the world, the most productive country in the world, 80% of our citizens retire, you know, broke or dependent on Social Security, and it didn't have to be. Remember, $2.5 million ran through their accounts. And what do they have to show for it? It's not because they were bad people. It's because they were not educated and informed, and nobody told them. You know, like I said, money loves attention. Money loves people who take care of money. I'm not even say love money, because you know it's not about loving money. It's about understanding the medium of exchange that simply is the fact out there, right? And if people would understand better how this all works, they would end up much better, pure and simple. And that's why this opportunity, and I'm very excited, Gerald, I'm in the real estate business,
Right.
property management, I'm in the financing side of this for, 2.5 decades. And when I saw this opportunity, I saw not only, hey, that's a nice additional supplemental income for me, but I also saw that it actually was great to help my clients. Those that were more sophisticated could use the level 2 strategies. Those that were just a beginning and maybe found themselves turned down by a bank and all these things, the credit restoration, the education, the ability to have a systematic way of not only saving, because you'll never save your way to retirement, but to save and then invest in safe and secure, predictable ways. I said, you know what? For me, even if it didn't make me one penny, Gerald, I would have this to offer to my clients. Number one. Number two, I also found out as not collateral damage, but collateral benefit that, people who the banks used to turn down, you'd have to turn away. Today, there's no one that has to be turned away. Our Keys to Homeownership program can meet you wherever you are and turn your rent. If you can afford to pay rent, you can afford to own a home for the same exact amount. And now I give it back to you. That's what I just wanted to share.
I love it, my friend. Hey, listen, you mentioned it earlier. We've leveled the playing field. The average everyday person now has a real shot at winning. We bring to the table the tools, the systems, and the expert. You're talking $249 as a business, as an investment into a business that's going to provide you with everything you need. They've even created all the tools, marketing, all of those things that you need to grow the business. It is the most incredible opportunity that exists on the planet. And I'm convinced that it is. It's worked for me and so many other people. Tens of thousands of people across the country, Eric, have gotten results from what we've just shown you tonight, guys. So once again, thank you again for taking the time to be with us. Eric, it's an honor. Zena, thank you for hosting and doing our introductions for tonight. For all of those who took the time out, let's double our numbers next week. Invite a guest. Bring someone else. Let them see and hear what all the excitement is about. Mr. Fernando Ramirez, you're the man. Thank you, sir, for setting all this up and making it all happen. Eric, once again, love you, brother. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you soon. There's my friend Fernando. Well, Fernando, closing remarks, sir. Anything?
You know what? Honest truth, you both have delivered tonight so much for all of us to make a wise decision, a decision that we can doubt about because it's been set properly. And you guys have educated us through the entire process. It's a dream come true working alongside tremendous leaders like both of you and the community that we are building all over the country. It doesn't matter what language you speak, as long as you speak English, you can be a part of our incredible platform. You heard Mr. Wilder speaks 4 different languages, so you got power there, sir. That's why we are called FRB, Empowering Diversity, and definitely MWR Kingdom Builders. So it's an honor to work alongside each and every one of you. I've been doing this incredible business for 31 years. MWR3, and never seen anything as good as what MWR offers in regards to services and the compensation plan. So it's a true honor. I'm excited, like a kid in a candy store. Every single day, every time we wake up to our freedom.
Good deal, sir. Thank you
Thank you.
for that. God bless you, sir. Eric, once again, thank you to all our guests who were here. We're looking forward to seeing you guys again on next Wednesday night. And Fernando, if you've got a minute, if there's a recording available, we've got our YouTube channel set up now, I believe. If we can post that in the chat, people will have access to that, if you don't mind, sir. And then we'll close out.
Now.
All right,
yes. Give me 30 seconds, everyone.
All right, here we go.
While he's doing that, I want to on your coattails, Gerald.
Yeah.
Fernando Ramirez. A lot of people call him Coach Fernando, and it's got to be one of the most affectionate titles to give somebody. If somebody calls you Coach, it's because they trust you. They call you Coach because they've benefited by you, because they respect you. And we have a number of coaches in our community now. They didn't give themselves the title, but other people started calling it. Now, I've heard people call you Coach Gerald. I've heard people call Coach Fernando, and we got Coach T. We got all sorts of folks around here. And I just wanted to pay that tribute because, Fernando Ramirez is a professional.
No doubt.
Okay. He's an entrepreneur. He's a businessman. And for him to be on a Wednesday night when he could be doing anything else, he's out there building the community, educating the people, and growing the organization. So my hat goes off to you, my friend.
Absolutely, Eric. I stand with you on that. Thanks again, Fernando. Guys, there it is right there. This is our new YouTube channel. We're going to be broadcasting and recording everything that we're doing. We've got a platform created with content 6 days a week. So we're excited to be able to offer this to you. Our Latino team will take the lead on Friday night with 2 events, as well as Saturday. We do the reading club, and then we'll do an overview and then training on Saturday. That platform was put together today. So stay connected with us and let's grow together. We want to win together. You're in this. Let's finish this. Eric Wilner, God bless you, sir. Thank you very much. Fernando Ramirez, thank you. And thank all of our guests.
Hey, Gerald, I want to address something head on. Okay.
Sure.
In the chat, we've answered most of the questions, but someone put in the chat, can you explain why this company has complaints on the Better Business Bureau? And here, let me ask you this. Go to the Apple website and see if there are any complaints over there. Go to IBM, go to Coca-Cola, okay, and see if there's any complaints. I guarantee you there are complaints, and there will be more complaints. In fact, I kid around with my colleagues in the real estate business. If you don't have a complaint against you, there's only one reason, is that you were inactive. You don't exist on the planet. Now I'll ask you, go tell me how many lawsuits there are, and you'll see a big fat goose egg. What you have to understand is that there's always going to be haters. Go look at social media. There's going to be people out there that don't like the nicest person in the world. That's just the way that the world is. But that's how I can explain it. Listen, the fact is that MWR is making a huge impact in 50 states and in Puerto Rico. There are people like myself, and I'm a public figure on the radio. I wouldn't talk about something. I wouldn't tie myself to something that I didn't see the evidence of the results. Okay. And nor would the professionals that I get to share this screen, the same thing. Dr. Gerald Parker, a minister, a person who is heading up a national organization called the Kingdom Builders. Okay. He stands before the ultimate judge. And here he is. Here he is. So I hope that answers your question there. I applaud you for doing the research, but you always got to check your sources as well. Back to you.
Eric, I would encourage that person to go to the MWR Facebook page, our testimonial page, and hear from tens of thousands of people across the country who've just had incredible results in their financial life, in every area of their financial life, whether it was saving money on taxes, whether it was saving money on their internet, satellite, cable, phone, all of those things. Zena Edgehill, keys to home ownership, start to finish 3 weeks, going from renter to ownership. And these stories are real, and these are real people this program is impacting. So I would strongly encourage that person to look at that, the MWR testimonial page. And again, tens of thousands of people across this country, can't be wrong.
Yes. And that's why I wanted to address it. By the way, Jose, thank you for putting that up there. That was a very legitimate question. I agree. And so hopefully we answered it for you. Talking about Zena Edgehill, not only, okay, she was a customer. She came in as a customer with one single need, not all 9 of those that we had there. She needed housing. She was very close to not having a place to live.
Yep.
She was introduced to MWR, and like you said, they don't always happen this fast, but in 3 weeks, she went from being almost homeless to a home owner. And let me just tell you, I don't even know what her credit score is, but it had nothing to do with her qualifying to be able to own her own home. And so happy was she. She didn't just tell 3 people. She went out and told hundreds of people. And today, she is transforming her previous career into a career sharing MWR. So there's another, the Better Business Bureau isn't going to highlight that wonderful story. So that's all I wanted to say.
Good deal, sir. Thank you very much, Eric. And guys, once again, thank you for joining the platform. Look forward to seeing you again on Monday, next Wednesday night. God bless you all. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Awesome job.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, your mics are open. We want to say good night and thank Eric and Fernando for joining us. Please.
And Gerald
Thank
Parker,
everyone.
Dr. Gerald Parker.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
family.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
everything you do.
you for everything you
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Amazing, amazing.
Sir.